I'd like to talk about toxic people in this video. It's something that affects a lot of us. When I say toxic people, people who are just very negative, and when they walk into the room, you feel like the energy's gone, or you feel like something is really wrong or off. These people can be yellers. These people can be people who criticize, people who are just always negative, or people who are just very unpleasant to be around, right? These people suck the energy out of everybody else. So what you want to do is the way you relate with them is going to be a little bit different from case to case. So there's different types of toxic people. One type of toxic people, they're actually not aware that they're toxic, okay? And they're not necessarily trying to be toxic. It's just that they just don't know better. And these are the easiest types to work with because there's actually a possibility of change with them. So what do I mean by that? Well, these people would like to improve their situation, but they need to be aware of what they're doing to other people. So with people like this, you can actually have a conversation with this person, or have somebody have a conversation with a person, and it'll go something like this. Hey, Tom, I really appreciate you as a colleague around here. You mind if I mention a couple of things that I think might be helpful to know? Something like that. And if this person is receptive, it'll obviously say yes. And then you'll say, yeah, I noticed that you raise your voice a lot when something doesn't go right. And sometimes that makes other people feel a little bit alarmed around you. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. And the person might not be, of course. You just point it out. And hopefully, as time goes by, Tom will cut down on how much he yells at people when things don't go his way. Or actually raise his voice. Sometimes you're just not aware of your own frustration. It just comes naturally. So this is the easiest type of toxic people to work with because they actually they're actually open to feedback. Now, there's another type of toxic people that you'll bump into, and this type of toxic people, they're very difficult, and you might have to have some boundaries with them. So, for example, people who don't want to change, they don't care about being negative, and they don't care about anybody else around them. So with people like this, you'll want to create some boundaries with them and just let them know, hey, Tom, let's just use Tom. Sorry if your name's Tom. Hey, Tom, I just want to let you know that when you do this, it really affects me. Obviously, the person doesn't care, right? And then you'll say, I need to set some boundaries in order to protect myself. So my boundaries are this. So you can start with a low boundary and then escalate the boundary. So maybe an idea of a low boundary is, yeah, let's not. I prefer if you don't talk to me after work. Let's say work ends at 5 o'clock. Yeah, it's not necessary to text me or reach out to me or communicate with me about anything. I just need my space after work. So that's an example of a lower boundary. And if obviously Tom violates that, you can give him a warning, but then you have to escalate that if he doesn't abide by that, and just say, hey, Tom, I'm really going to have to maybe talk to some other people about this situation because it's really affecting me. So that way Tom will realize that you actually mean business, and that you're going to let other people know about it to see if other people can give you advice or give you some help on that. And then what you want to do is, if that's still not working out, you escalate it to where you maybe ask somebody, a boss of yours, to either move him or to move you somewhere else. So that way you're a little bit farther and farther away from Tom. And obviously, if the situation is really, really terrible, you might have to have a talk with your boss and say, hey, either I go or Tom goes. We've tried all these different things and it's not working. So this is a last ditch effort. We just gotta, kind of sever the relationship and move on. Now, it's important to keep those options in mind, because sometimes you might actually have to exercise that option where you're like, you know, adios, I gotta go, or you gotta go, and we just gotta part ways, because a toxic person just chews at you. You know, it affects you during the day, and when you get home, it affects your family life, and it affects your weekend. And during your weekends, you're kind of not looking forward to going back to work on Monday. You know, it's just very terrible experience, terrible way to live. So you just want to try everything, of course, and if nothing works, you just got to cut off the relationship. So that's how you deal with toxic people. I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you set boundaries, and I hope that it makes life a little bit more bearable for you, and hopefully you'll bounce back and come back on top. So good luck.